Greetings, my fellow stargazers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Biotech Doomsday Vault, episode 43. Not my telescope. Ooh, we're throwing a party. Shane is celebrating his thumb. I guess. Is a Doomsday launcher and Words of Love. Yep. True. Alright, and it definitely has been 8 hours, so Nella, call in, let's say, exotic goods. Okay, that worked. Good. Oh, Pobble, what are you assigned to eat? There you go. Now you're fixed. And you can actually consume my drugs. I don't really care. Actually, no, no drugs for you. You're trying to convert me, so definitely no drugs for you. Or no, Thomas tried to convert you. Join us. I'm going to probably keep Tech Noir able to issue combat command rather than use it as a work drive. And we are just lacking about 6 components to put all this back together. And then there's, of course, all the repairs to be affected, but that will come eventually. The art's going pretty well. We have some pieces of art here for sale. Someone should use that Insanity Lance. Let's see. You have one. You don't. Who is this? Carlotta? Carlotta, you want an Insanity Lance? Awesome. Oh, now we're starting to get gazelle babies. Just one so far, but I'm going to wait until the first wave of pregnant gazelle finish their pregnancies so that I can probably just gift it to the trade caravans that come by. And all the toxic waste packs are now out of the base. We don't have any in our freezer. We've hauled them out to the trees, and the trees are filtering it. So you can see the waste pack decay causing pollution around that tree. And then our own arboretum is almost completely disease-free. It's funny that these stumps, these trees, got smashed as a result of the pollution that they were supported by. That does look nice. It looks like a beautiful snowy wonderland or something. Alright, so short of some cleanup, the actual physical repairs of this area, except for the ground pen scanner, are done. Oh, there's I don't exactly have room for more meat, but so we have 2 gazelle that were just born. And I don't believe that these gazelle belong to the other to the colony, right? They belong to us. They don't belong to the ones that issued us to look after them, which is a bit different. What about side trainers? All the side trainers that I can learn from right now have been used. I ended up using Pain Block, if that's what you're referencing. Does not look like I've made a significant dent into this kitchen. Also, I'm going to want it significantly cleaner. There we go. Once there's a little bit more of a dent, I'll go ahead and hunt, I guess. I'll start hunting now, because I can just leave them frozen. I believe this is the stockpile for animal corpses. Yes. So it won't be pretty, but we can store them in here in our freezer. And that hallway is now almost fully painted. Nice. I find it annoying that it tells me that a Pobble is idle. It's like, Pobble doesn't work. You don't need to tell me that Pobble's idle. That's literally the only thing she'll do, is be idle. You don't need to make like an announcement about that. That's just silly. So there we go. We have the ground pen scanner back on, and I can turn it on, and I had plopped this drill onto the node, so I don't really need to move it. Hey, Winged. I'm doing okay tonight. Could you strap a mech controller headset on a slave and just keep them stoned into oblivion as a mech controller? Yeah? I don't know. Probably. I can't think of a game mechanic reason why that wouldn't work. I mean, it'd be weird, but weird is good. How many of the gazelles are still pregnant? So there's still 3 left that are pregnant. 1 day, 6 days, 5 days, 6 days, 4 days, 6 days. Wow, that is a short gestation period. 6 days? Ooh, ship chunks I failed to notice. Sounds good to me. And there's some more boomlopes. I also probably want to go hunt the warg, just because I know it's going to hunt me, and I don't want to hunt one of the children. They're vulnerable. Thomas is... Oh, there he goes. In a daze. I was about to say he's having a hard time with his psychic withdrawal, and then he immediately goes into a daze. Hey, Mayhem, can you, like, drag him into the base with beckon? You can. Okay, let's try to beckon him inside, because he's not exactly safe where he currently is. And if I could influence him to become more safe, that would be good. Because if a raid comes and he's in the front door, he's toast. No enemies have tried to go through the Trojan exit yet. No. Oops, I accidentally allowed you to go beyond your heat, and I didn't mean to do that. And you're having a psychic breakdown as a result. That's my fault. So have yourself a beer. You deserve it, because I messed with you. That'll go away quickly. It's 2 days to recover, and it's a consciousness loss, but like, not that big of a deal. It's not like I'm running around outside dangerously that often. Okay, so we have a lot of package survivals now. I was pretty sure I called in a trade caravan. They're just taking their sweet time to get here. But this next caravan, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to gift like a ton of stuff to them in order for the relationship to recover. Because if I called them in for ally backup, we would be neutral again. Oh, yep. Let's not keep the bodies in that zone. Good shooting. I'm going to temporarily suspend the butcher creatures so that we don't overflow with meat and have it spoil in the stock room. going to be ugly, but who cares? It's a kitchen. Doesn't need to be a pretty kitchen. And here comes my exotic goods. I'm going to have Tech Noir with the Inspired Trade go out there, make some deals. Is the back door still forbidden? Nope. It's allowed, just no one ever really takes it because it's way out of the way. So, green plus cold tolerant, grayless hair plus dead calm. Oh, dead calm. I don't really have need of dead calm though, because well, no, that might not be true. Dead calm might not be terrible for anyone that starts social fights regularly to have implanted. So I'm going to buy grayless hair plus dead calm because I think that might be a good gene pack to own. Acid spray is an interesting gene pack for us to spray stuff at people. I am also going to buy Skip. Skip is what Skip is a level ahead of what Mayhem currently is at, but the current quest I'm on for Gazelle Sitting will raise him up to level 4. So in the case that when he hits level 4 he doesn't get Skip, I'll just buy Skip so I can ensure that I have it. Guarantee that I have it. We have a new telescope. That's nice, because ours broke. And then, cold tolerant wouldn't be terrible for us to have, but, like, I'm not sure I want to have green skin. I don't want to look like orcs by the time we leave, or super mutants, I should say, by the time we leave this, godforsaken, planet. I will go ahead and sell the package of survival meals and buy the plasteel, because I don't really have a good source of plasteel at the moment. So, that's some good trades, I think. And then, if there's stuff I can gift to them... No, there really isn't. I could gift some gold. I don't need as much gold as I have, so I'll gift them 500 gold. It's kind of a generous amount. Oh, gift the gazelles too, yeah. If they wanted them. They don't. I would need to call in a bulk goods trader for the gazelles. Telescope, we'll put you here. Oh, that's roofed up. Given that the telescope's being installed in like the most dangerous area of the base, it's probably a telescope that's not going to stick around very long. That does clear up a lot of room in our stock room, so that's good. A lot more space for stuff. I could put the telescope into this area, yeah. It's kind of a long way to travel to use a telescope, though. That was my only concern. Is like, it's just really far away. People aren't going to ever really use it if I put it all the way out there. I'm going to high priority this stuff so that no one can steal it from me. I feel like if I don't make an effort to move it, it's not going to be there to, if a raid comes in, they'll just steal it. Alright, it looks like I am out of heal root. So the tending that we've been doing has been with industrial meds. So the next 10 period, I'm going to go with industrial meds as well. Also, I think we've done a pretty good job of keeping up with the rice quantity. So I'm going to take a big risk here and grow just a ton of heal root. It's a huge risk, especially given that we just sowed the heal root, but I'll do that anyway. All right, Camen's installing, and then Shay haul that plasteel. Because even if I have enough industrial meds to go around to keep these guys alive, I'm basically going to desperately need... I'm going to desperately need medicine by the time we're done, because they're just using up all my medicine. I also have like 10k silver. It'd be great if I had better trade opportunities. Thomas is wandering somewhere safe. That's good. So he eventually went to sleep, and now he's not somewhere dangerous to his survival. And I have to wait a day and a half. So like 11 a.m. the next day for a new caravan. I'm surprised these guys haven't left. Oh, there they go. Do I have enough space in the gene banks? That's a good question. I probably don't. So Thomas is no longer in a psychotic state. He's still psychic withdrawal. Hopefully I could keep him from using and abusing drugs so that he can actually recover from his addiction. That's the goal. Yeah, so I do have two of the newest gene banks here just stored. But Cam is getting the banks building now, or Sapo, rather. So acid spray is kind of like fire spray, but it sticks to you and harms you over time. And then, of course, dead calm stops social fighting. So if someone tends to be constantly the person to start social fights, I can dead calm them, and that will cease to reoccur, which is going to be nice. So here's the genes that I have right now. I have acid spray, psychic bonding, very happy, robust, grayless hair, and dead calm, poor intellectual, and deep red skin. I'm not sure I'm ever going to use the poor intellectual and deep red skin, but it's the only thing that I have to offset the metabolic efficiency negatives. So if we wanted like a, well, that's almost like an impid, right? Like, I know it's not fire spray, but deep red skin and spraying stuff out of your mouth seems impid territory to me. Do I have anyone that's abrasive? Well, let's see. If someone could benefit from the calm. So someone like Sapo, who's kind, or Mayhem, who's kind, definitely don't need calm. No. Not really. We've been kind of lucky as to the traits that people have been getting. The other thing to analyze is, like, who has rivalries. So if we go through the relationships here, like, if I check Yaroslav and Shay do not like one another. In fact, Yaroslav is probably the most disliked member, but that doesn't surprise me given that he's a psychopath. So dead calming Yaroslav, yeah, Shay and Yaroslav really hate each other. Dead calming Yaroslav might be a good way to stop some social fights, because he won't start the social fights. So it could be started with him, but at least it will cut out like half of the potential social fights. I probably am not going to Xenogerman, though, given that I have 3 mega raids incoming in the next 13 days, and I don't really need Yaroslav to be in a coma for that. That seems like probably a bad idea. Oh my god. This is, getting busy. Oh, all these toxel up too? Alright. Rip my kitchen room. I'm gonna shrink the tox packs just to a 1 spot. Maximize our, corpse containers. It's looking so ridiculous over there. A few of them exited the map tile, but that's fine. Good shooting, Yaroslav. The other thing I could do is to... I have a question. Should I sanguine Thomas? Yes or no? So Thomas is currently having a really hard time getting over the psycho withdrawal. And he's kind of a liability as he is right now. So I feel like if I gave Thomas very happy and maybe dead calm, like, it would stop him from fighting others. I don't think he's actually been in a lot of fights, social fights. But at least giving him sanguine so that he is a bit more chipper and has fewer mental breaks. Because if he has a mental break in the middle of a raid, that could be pretty deadly for him. So that was just the thought I had. Because in his current condition, I wouldn't mind for him to be in a xenogerm coma, because like he's kind of a danger to himself at the moment, being that he is on the verge of psychotic break like all the time. That was a thought. Don't know what you guys think, but figure you could vote on it. Give you 1 more minute to vote. And what is the ETA on calling my ally again? Oh, well, Kath and I will never do social. So, Thomas, how about you check? Just the anesthesia him? That's really expensive given that I already have a medicine shortage. Trying to tend all these gazelle. So, keeping him doped like that would be a lot more expensive than just sticking him into a cryptosleep casket, which would be the obvious cheap way to do it. But sanguine's fine too. Yeah, so I'm being warned that I have low medicine. How do you vote? Just type 1 or 2, like just the number. Or type out the full response, yes or no. Either one works. Okay, we're gonna sanguine him. Let's hope that helps him. I would say it was my fault that that he even got addicted in the first place. So I'll aim to fix it. So I'm gonna name this xenotype Ross because Thomas's last name is Ross, and. What is a happy-looking face? That looks like a happy-looking face. So let's assemble that for him. I'm also a little worried about Yaroslav's mood too, but some of that is just the pain from the mechanites, sensory mechanites. Genoplanting does cost meds, so there is that run risk. But in 5 hours, I can call in another bulk goods trade and potentially mitigate some of that cost. Also, another thing to keep in mind is that a lot of our people actually have herbal and regular medicine on them, like tucked away. It actually might be wise for me to go through and have everyone that has pocketed herbal meds to drop it. Because at one point, I was allowing them to carry medicine around with them, the regular herbal medicine, and they just... For whatever reason, RimWorld doesn't require you to put it down once you change priorities. So, I just recovered, I don't know, a whole lot of herbal meds as a result. That and every single person also has industrial meds on them. So even if my med number reads 0, it's not truly 0. It's, you know, it's like 54 meds or something like whatever's in our pockets. Add poor social? Yeah, how about you vote on that? So do you want me to offset the very happy with red skin and poor intellectual? It would be kind of funny to give the pyromaniac red skin. I'll leave that up to you. Just give you 1 minute to vote on that. I wonder if these raids are coming in. I'm going to play a little bit longer, because I know I'm just about out of time now, but I want to at least kick off this xenogerming. Am I missing kids' clothing? Yeah, I am. All right, let's fix this. Cloth, cloth. Okay. Hobel, you want to, I'm going to let you dye your clothing. Oh no, you won't even allow me to. Never mind. So 1 extra vote for red skin and poor int. Okay. There we go. Death just got inspired creativity again. Construction of 7, so that doesn't really matter. And at this time of day, I should be able to call in a caravan. Ornlaw, thank you for the resub. I missed that earlier. Apologize for missing it. I hate the expectation of mega raids coming, but you just don't know when they're going to show up. Why not give him Robust 2? The more I give him, the more complex it is and the more hungry he will be. So I'm not giving him Robust because he's not typically a tank. And I don't want to have to feed him, like, an extra meal a day. Because right now I do have an abundance of food, but that isn't always the case. So I'm planning for times to be lean. Or in other words, it pays to save. And they're not small raids. If the raids that were coming in were like kind of normal size raids, I wouldn't worry about them, but they're big. Oh, well, that didn't take long. The moment the Xenogerm was done, he was like, oh, yeah. Well, I'm on a psychotic break. You can't get that in my body. Is he going to have double catharsis? No, his catharsis has worn off. So I'm just going to go through the roster here and paint people's clothing the appropriate colors. I also think I'm going to turn off the deep drills because I don't really need deep drill infestations while I'm also dealing with Toxoid Gang coming and ruining my day. And I have a really good amount of steel at the moment. So there's a 650 steel sitting there and another 650 sitting over there. So we're in want for not for steel. It's not so much about wasting power, though. But yeah, fair point. We will conserve more power turning that stuff off. Uh-oh. You haven't seen sunlight in probably like a year. You know what it could use? Everyone's feeling a little down. Let's have a party day. Except for you, Hobel. You party every day. I'm going to let people recreate. I'm just trying to limit the amount of mental breaks and other liabilities that we have going into such a big fight. Up an outdoor pool table. So one of the issues with having multiple pool tables, like if I did, let's say, put one outdoors, is they're just going to use whatever's closest. So it's really not going to be used. So if I wanted to get them outdoors, I would have to move a unique recreation outdoors, like a telescope or a piano or something like that doesn't have a duplicate. Because billiards is dexterity play, poker's int. This is music. This is TV watching. This is telescope usage. So I could put the telescope out here, and this would be outdoor time. But another thing I could do is just have Cathanon like go march around outside for a bit, even if he's not being productive. Just for his mood repair. But most of this is just being sick and in serious pain is the -15. And then Rec Unfulfilled I'm going to fix as soon as he's up, because I just set him to a full-time recreation schedule. And as soon as Thomas snaps out of it, I will implant him with the Xenogerm. Do we have any TVs? Yeah, we have a Mega Screen TV right here. Best TV in the galaxy. Well, tied for best, because, you know, every Mega Screen TV is technically the best. And then if you go to your needs here, you can actually see the recreation types available. Solitary, social, cerebral play, TV watching, dexterity play, piano, telescope study, and chemical consumption. So I have a ton of recreation types for people to use. So that's not an issue in this colony. We have a lot of creature comforts, which is great. Thomas is still out of it. He's like, no red skin for me? Yeah, he is resistant to it, huh? I'm going to try to have Cathanon sit on the tailor bench for a little bit longer, because we have a lot of leathers, and it would be great if I could turn those leathers into clothing for sale, like corsets, etc. Man, waiting for these raids is freaking me out. We're halfway through the time, and I haven't had a peep. No one has showed up yet. That sketches me out, because that means it's it's going to be a bad time when they show up, because they're going to all show up at the same time, stacking onto one another. Be a mega mess. Wow, Thomas is still out of it. He really, really does not want to be happy. Oh, maybe I should let you eat. I can't easily Xenogerm Cathanon because he's a genie. So if I do that, I wipe out what makes him a genie. So he's not a candidate for Sanguine or anything like that. Not without the huge penalties of being ungenied, which isn't worth it. Ooh, more Devil Strand. I like it. So where's this bulk goods trader that I called in? Jeez, they're taking their sweet time, and I'm having to feed... How many gazelle? How many extra gazelle? 6? Because I can't sterilize them without penalty? I mean, that seems so punitive. Kind of like the idea of a white elephant. If you've ever heard that saying. All right, so Thomas is implantable now. And implant the Ross Xenogerm. Cam, you have inspired surgery, so might as well have you use your surgery and get that going. The concept of white elephant was a gift to people that you didn't like, that is so expensive to upkeep that it is a gift and a curse all in itself. There we go. So he is now red-skinned. very happy, but poor intellectual, which didn't really matter because he had an int of 2. So it doesn't really change that much. But then if we take a look at his needs, genetic joy. That should help a little bit. And I might want to march. Why aren't you recreating? I think because I've just forced you to work. But I might want to march Cathodon outside so he can get a little bit of outside time. I wanted to play until the first raid hit, but it's just not happening. Oh, here we go. And they are... Oh, God. Bye, farm. Bye, farm. Ugh. They're landing on my farm. Move, Cadet. Yep, you're not going to want to be standing there. I'm going to leave this door open. It is 17 of them. And I have everybody rallying up this hallway here. The reason why they keep landing in here, by the by, is because the different types of attacks for pod drop is either targeting a orbital trade beacon, scattering randomly, or targeting an individual. And none of the individuals in my colony are targetable because they're all under overhead mountains. So the only people that are ever targetable are the ones out here, which is why this is just a common target over and over and over. Because they literally can't pick anyone else in the colony. They can only pick people that are in thin rock roof or unroofed. Which is why this is happening over and over and over. Roof collapse. Alright, don't fire at will. And I'm going to wait for everybody to basically stack up on this door and then swing the door open. I'm going to swing the door open with Popol. I hear them throwing stuff, but nothing's been thrown at me yet. I'm beckoning a few of them to force them to come to me. We are just face tanking here because this was not designed for this kind of defense, and now they're fleeing. I would say that was a pretty minimal amount of damage compared to the other pod drop raids, but we did get shot a bit. I do hope that these guys that are downed brought meds with them. Can you not fight Pobel? Get out of here. Alright, and then there's Horror. Jet. I will capture. Oh, yeah, I don't have a free space to capture them, so I'm going to capture them in here. And close that door behind me. It's sandstone, so that's going to be annoying, but they're going to be let go. So, Stiletto... Jet, Jane, and then, actually, Shield, you go for Horror. Kadath, you capture Jet. I don't know what their bleed timers were, but I'm going to assume they're not going to bleed out immediately. Maybe that's not a safe assumption, but I'm going to render aid the way I wish to. I don't see any medicine that they brought, unfortunately, so I don't think that we are going to gain any from this raid. And all of our nicks and cuts and things like that, I'm just going to tend without medicine to conserve medicine, because I don't think anyone actually get all that hurt. Yeah, there's pretty much no serious injuries here. Mayhem got hurt the most, maybe. And it's not even all that bad. That's a lot of Luciferium, though. And Inspire Trade with Tech Noir. So the bulk goods trader should be here pretty soon. So these guys here are going to be patched up with nomads. And horror's coming in now. Or you've got 3 hours, so you're kind of urgent. Cam's really good at this, though. And then when these guys get up, they're just going to be released. Just like the others. We don't torture people. We defend ourselves and then release the POWs. About as kind as we can be. That poor telescope? Yeah, no kidding. The perpetual death scope. You know what I'll do? If I get another telescope, I'll stick it in this corner here. Because it's less likely to get destroyed being tucked away. Soon it will be my third telescope. And I am, just like you, getting a little tired of replacing it over and over and over. I also lost a transport pod launcher. So I'm going to need to unroof that area so I can put it back. Prisoner release. Yeah, they're all set to release. Perfect. And here's the bulk goods. Just on time. Uh-oh. I think a Timberwolf tried to eat them. What? Member died? Come on. That wasn't me. Ugh. You losers. You probably shot him. No, he just got bit. His name was Protein. Dude, don't name someone Protein and then dangle him in front of a Timberwolf. That's just dumb. No! Oh, he was the traitor too? Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, I'm paid for that trade caravan. Duh. Stupid Protein. Oh, yep. Crematorium is on. Shield to get cremating. But don't go for the rotted animal that's like a mile away. Man, that bad luck. They enter, they immediately get nipped by a wolf, and then they're like, "Wow, you got us killed," and then they leave. It's like, did I deserve any of this? And now I have all these gazelle that I don't know what to do with. Okay, because I just don't want to feed these gazelle. It's worth it to me to just pod launch them. Because I have more steel and chem fuel than I have food. So I'm just sending them as freebies. Poor Zalek. You're 6 years old and you're having to clean up dead bodies. Not the kind of childhood that I would have wished for you. And unfortunately, a lot of my Devil Strand did get popped. But, oh well. I mean, pretty unavoidable given that they landed there. Alright, everybody's pretty much patched up. Thomas is still in a coma for 9 more hours, but he should be a little bit happier when he gets back up. Even if he does want Psychite. And I'm going to try to tidy up the farm area before wrapping this up. Man, I cannot believe that it's just like... No, what are you doing, Nella? A 10-year-old's gonna escort the prisoner? Oh, look, we're exiting them this way. That's awesome. Look at that. Pop, they're gone. Oh, that's terrific. Showing them the secret door into our base. Nothing can ever go wrong with that. Bye, Stiletto. Don't come back. So this farm is, I think it's still lit. We just need to replace the turrets in there. But the turrets did a pretty good job. They actually did a lot of damage before my fighters could even react to the fight. So that was pretty beneficial. Oh my god. Quit it with your little demon gazelle. I can't handle all these gazelle. The next map tile is an insect heaven? I mean, probably, right? I live in such a deep pollution that I'm sure everything has souped up mega insects everywhere. But that's what you get for coming to my neighborhood. You get insect eaten. Okay, Thomas is up. His mood has definitely been improved. And I'm going to high priority haul so I could stop feeding those gazelle to the pod and send them to my neighbor as an apology for the loss of protein. Although I feel like that wasn't my fault. It's kind of rigged, in fact. If I'm sending that, hold on, let me reassess here. So gazelle, and then I'm gonna also send some sculptures. Try to bounce our relationship back up to like near 100. I'll send some of these weapons that I will never get around to smelting. And that will free up a lot of space in our stockpiles. There. It's good enough. We're sending them the newborn gazelles, yeah. The ones that don't have names aren't bound to the quest, so it's not a problem. That's why I didn't name the babies. Because if I had, you know, it would be confusing. And then I'll also double check the contents of the pod when it's ready to go. Making sure that none of the... but as you can see, it's not the gazelles with names. That should be fine. Oof. Game is getting laggy. What is going on here? Game's like, too many gazelle. You gotta kill them. Alright, so I don't see any gazelle that shouldn't be in there, right? Because we still have the 11 original here. I'm gonna save just in case, because, you know, paranoia. But, launch, and that's a 16 only? God, you're cheapskates. Why is the game lag-tastical right now? I don't know why. I'm not even running mods, so it doesn't make much sense. But I'm almost at a point where we're all cleaned up. Just a little bit more repairs to do, and then I'll call it. We just have a few more pods to rebuild and a few walls and turrets to repair. I should have sent the Lucy. You're right. I forgot to. It's not like I need Lucy in the base. Luckily, Luciferium is never a target for binges. It's treated like antibiotics, like a medicine, and not like a recreational drug. So you don't get people abusing Lucy for fun, which is at least the only upside of Luciferium. Well, not the only upside of Luciferium, but it's definitely one of the perks of Luciferium is you don't like binge on it ever and then end up an addict. That would be horrible, especially if you only had one Luciferium, because then it's like, congratulations, you have 6 days to live. Good luck. Doesn't it have nutritional value? I don't think so, no. No, doesn't. And it's a drug category of medical, not recreational, so that's why it's not abused. Have I ever done a Luciferium challenge run? I am, not to toot my own horn, but pretty good at going into Ancient Dangers. So I could probably very easily sustain a huge colony of Lucy addicts just by poking in Ancient Dangers and stealing their Luciferium, especially if I had Skip. Because if you have skip, you just open the wall of an ancient danger, skip the Luciferium out, because you can skip items, and then walk away with it. And you don't even have to fight anyone. Or go invisible, or, yeah. I mean, if you're a sidecaster, it's such an easy thing to do. I'm going to actually save and load. I don't know what's going on with RimWorld right now, but I'm guessing I have some errors that are, like, looping in the error log that are causing the game to run like garbage. Nope, still runs like garbage. Let me open up the error log. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, they're all trying to haul things to the transport pod. Okay, and it's fixed. There was like... Yeah, they were trying to haul items. I don't know why the game allowed me to load 2 transport pods with the same things, but it did for some reason. Oh, look at that! Thomas is now an inspiration. He's on a shoot frenzy. He went from super, super sad to actually inspired. Yeah, this one little gazelle made it slow. That's what it was. Did someone haul that? Rope him? And I believe that last raid was probably one of the linked quest raids, I think. Oops. Darn it. Didn't mean to do that. So that's 1 of 3 down. And because they were pod drop raiders that targeted an individual, that's why it was a particularly small raid. That's why it was like a third of its normal size, right? So the quest predicted that the raids are about 40 or so, but I only got 17 raid pod dropping on me because pod drop raids always they always render smaller. Ooh, I don't have food. Shoot. Yeah, the items are not reserved when you schedule for them. Yeah, I know. I just thought it was interesting that it threw so many errors that the game started running like sludge. That was the surprising point, I think, for me. There we go. Now we're feeding our people. So once this is all repaired up and reset, ready to go for the next round of raiders, I can call it good. I was really hoping to get sieges, because if I got sieges, I have 36 shells to be able to lob at them, and spare barrels to be able to repair my mortars, but that just hasn't been the case. I've just been getting pod dropped in here over and over and over and over. I could do a no med for them, but we're just starting to harvest the heal herbal medicine, so I might as well use it, because we're going to have a pretty high yield of the herbs. And it would be tragic to nickel and dime myself into a quest failure now, right? That I'm already almost 2/3 of the way into. How close is Doopy to being 13 years old? You are halfway to 13. Slag zone's full. Turn on the smelter. Oh, smelter's on, man. You better believe it. Uh-oh. Is this the other raid? No, it's a monument. I can't do monuments. As much as I would like anti-grain warheads, I can't. The reason I can't is there's no place on the map where I could put down a 24 by 54 monument indoors. Like, because roof collapses any more than 12 by 12. So any monument that's larger than like a 12 by 12 is not going to be possible to do underground. That's why I don't even consider any of the monument quests, because they're not... There's just no situation where I can do them. I'm actually kind of lucky that they didn't break the fire foam popper, because that would be a lot of cleanup. We would be sweeping fire foam for like hours. I also need to remember that Pobel has fire foam pop belt on, so if I do have a fire that's uncontrolled, I can just use Pobel to jump into the fire and put the fire out. Yeah, these gazelle are replicating very, very quickly. And we're almost all repaired. And then also, the Arboretum only has a few spots left of pollution. We're almost completely clean of pollution here, which is awesome. Uh-oh. Red Fox is trying to kill Thomas. Come on, get a line of sight. Ah! Thomas just has not been having a fun time in life. He is... I sympathize. I mean, I don't normally sympathize with pyromaniacs, especially given that he has set fire to the base multiple times. But I sympathize with how tough his life has been. And every time he's like trying to claw his way back to normalcy, the game's like, "Oh, sorry, Thomas, but we're gonna penalize you again and have you get shredded by a fox for seemingly no reason." All right, there we go. Now I have plenty of herbal medicine. Yeah, you guys were right. It was definitely worth running a grow op of herbal. It grew fast enough that it's gonna easily allow us to treat all the gazelle. And that, my friends, is a pretty well repaired and ready for the next raid situation. So that's all the time I have. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Biotech Doomsday Vault, which originally streamed live on Twitch November 29th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my gaming community, and I do hope that you do, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Stay safe out there, my fellow vaulters.